Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we'll just wait a moment or two here as we get people to come on. Good morning, Nativity and Fernando and Fernanda, Lee and Jane, Cornell, John, and Jeanette. Good morning to you guys. Nativity. Great to have you on. Donna and Debbie. Okay, Rosa. Many of you were on with us yesterday afternoon. I don't know if you're getting used to that or not. Jerry, good morning to you. Frida, Nadine, Amanda, Kathy, Maria, and Lori. Good to have you on. We've got a lot of questions, so we'll get started real soon. Bernice, good morning, and Carrie from Nebraska. I bet you it's cold. And Rhonda and Roma, Mary Jane, Nick, good morning from our staff. Good to have you on. Steph, good morning. And Dora Lee and Eleanor. Okay, lots of good questions. Nellie, how are you? Okay, here we go. Somebody was asking about chlorella. What do I think of it? I like it. Chlorella is an algae and full of nutrients, and a lot of people use it in a detox. I like it. Yeah, I got no problem with that. You know, if you want to put a little bit of algae in your make your smoothie green, go for it. I got no problem with that. Yeah. I usually, like on a detox, remember, I'm more ordinarily going to tell you to use the reset, because the reset will empty your liver. Chlorella will clean your liver like milk thistle. It's good for helping to clean it, but you want to empty it. Because if you don't empty your liver, I don't care how much you clean your liver, you're not going to fix the problem. So I'm much more into emptying the liver. Once the liver is emptied, you're going to get tremendous results on terms of a detox, because your liver knows exactly what to do. It'll produce glutathione and other things that will help to detox your body. Better than anything else. The liver knows how to do it so yeah, but I got no problem with it. I think somebody was asking, let me just see if I can answer this here, because it had to do with the liver. I think it was nutrition here. Yeah, here it is, Kenneth. Okay, and by the way, that was Brenda asking about that. So spirulina, chlorophyll, I like them. I got no problem with that. Kenneth is asking about fasting liver. You dump sugar back into the bloodstream. He must have read that somewhere. Well, Kenneth, you don't. Your body, if you're fasting, your body dumps glycogen. That's stored sugar. But it doesn't come into the bloodstream as pure sugar, where insulin's got to take it again and put it back into storage. It's a good way of, once you're fasting, your body burns off glycogen. And it doesn't turn back into sugar. Now, if your liver is full of glycogen, okay, because you got a parking lot, like the Costco parking lot, I would think in the next week, the Costco, usually pretty busy, it's going to be crazy busy, I think, right? It's Christmas time. And, in our city, there's usually a traffic cop there. And the traffic cop is telling people where to park and get them, especially coming into the parking lot. The traffic cop is, you go here, and stops the traffic this way so they can get as many people in the parking lot as they can. Well, that's what your body is doing. Your pancreas, your insulin is the traffic cop. It's directing traffic. It's getting it's storing your sugar. It's got to take sugar out of the bloodstream. It has to store it someplace. It's going to store it in the liver. It's going to store it in the muscles, and it's going to make fat cells. See, sugar turns to fat. If you don't eat sugar, you're just going to burn off fat. You'll burn it off. But if you keep eating sugar, the traffic cop the parking lot's going to become full. The most dangerous part of that is that when that parking lot is full, the liver tries to empty itself out by sending that glycogen into the bloodstream, not as sugar, Kenneth, but as triglycerides. And that is what's dangerous, is when your triglycerides are high. And when your triglycerides are high, your HDL, your good cholesterol, is low. They work together. HDL is good cholesterol. You need it, okay? Let me answer somebody else's question here, because I'll hit it at the same time. Okay, hold on. Who asked this about cholesterol? Yeah, well, just Doc, I know, because every week, and I listen, don't worry about asking me the question, because somebody again asked the question to be on this program this morning. Doc, is there ever a time that your cholesterol is too high? I know, I get asked that, and I don't mind answering it. The answer is no. Oh, Doc, what about my LDL? My doc. I know. But guys, and I you know me, I'm a little facetious, but all I'm saying is I don't care about LDL. Your body makes LDL. When you have low LDL, you're going to die young. Why do you want to have low LDL? Now, LDL is what a statin drug can lower. So they made up a disease. The cholesterol phobia. Your body can't live without cholesterol. Every cell in your body is made up of cholesterol. Your brain is made up of cholesterol. Your tissue is made up of cholesterol. Your hormones are made up of cholesterol. It's not the bad guy. And when they see LDL, I think I explained this maybe last week. When they see LDL at a blood clot, when they see it at an injury in the blood vessels, LDL is there. It ain't the bad guy. It's not the bad guy. I use the illustration. It's like blaming the firemen because they're at the scene of a fire. So what? Of course they're at the scene of a fire. They're on your side. It's the same with the police. They're the good guys. HDL is the police. They're at a crime scene. They belong there. So it's, again, I just go over it and over it and over it and over it. And I will always have to do it because there's more than generation. It's generational now. Teaching in medical schools. The number one drug of all time is Lipitor. It's brought in the most money for pharmaceuticals. Now, I'm not sure that COVID won't beat it. The vaccines and the medications. But I'm just telling you right now, Lipitor is number one in the history of medicine. based on a false premise. And I know you're going to read, you're going to get bombarded. But I'm sorry, you're not going to change my mind. And it all goes back to cholesterol's bad because it causes heart disease. No, it doesn't. Triglycerides do. And actually low cholesterol causes heart disease. Because if you don't have enough HDL, you don't have enough FedEx trucks on the highways, Canada Post, Amazon trucks, whatever trucks you want to name. You don't have enough trucks on the highway? There's no trucks to hitch their wagon to the bad guys. Those are called triglycerides. And triglycerides are 100% related to your diet. Okay? Can calcium cause high blood pressure? Lynn. If it stays in your bloodstream. You've heard me say this. I am not big on taking a calcium supplement. You don't need it. Do you eat eggs, meat, and cheese? Well, then you don't need calcium. I want you to eat your calcium, not take it as a supplement. You don't need to take it as a supplement because when you take it as a supplement, it sits in your bloodstream. This is why you need cheese and butter, vitamin K2, because you know what that does? It takes calcium and puts it where it belongs. Come here, buddy. Go there. Into bones and teeth. Calcium is needed. I'm not saying calcium isn't important. I'm just saying you don't take calcium as a supplement. Vitamin D will help you to make calcium. But you take it with vitamin K2. Eat your K2. Butter. Cheese. Yeah. Eat it. I'd rather you eat it. I'm a food guy. Eat it. Okay. Yes, it could cause high blood pressure, Lynn, because if it sits in your bloodstream, it's going to start atherosclerosis, and atherosclerosis, calcium is part of that damage inside of blood vessels. You'll lose the Teflon layer and your blood pressure could go up. Absolutely. Yeah. Cold pressed olive oil, is it the same as cold extracted? Coleman, good question. Yeah, I think so. I love olive oil. Olive oil is a good oil. Somebody was asking about palm oil. Well, palm oil is classified as a good oil. It's like olive. Do you know olives is not a vegetable? You wouldn't put it in a fruit salad, but they're fruits. Olive is a fruit. Fruit oils, okay, are good. Stay away from the crappy man-made vegetable oils, okay? Peanut oil and all that. Don't use that stuff for cooking or whatever. The reason they give you way too high omega-6s. And olive oil I like. You know what I like better than olive oil? Bacon. They have the same oil. They're both of their fats, okay? So olive oil, you understand that. That's a fat. Look at the oil, pour it. Oh, it's very thick oil. It's very good for you. You know what it's called? The oil in olive oil? Oleic acid. O-L-E-I-C. You know what the oil is in bacon? Oleic acid. Well, somebody asked the question. Let me answer it now. What about the salt in bacon? That must be bad for you. No. The other day, somebody was talking about Dr. Martin, how about all the nitrates in bacon? They're used to preserve sodium nitrate. That's not bad for you. Who said that was bad? Well, for the people who say that's bad for you, I come right back at them and I say, well, nitrates are found in vegetables. Are vegetables bad for you? No. Well, when you have vegetables, you're getting nitrates. Why is that bad for you? Well, now you're using sodium nitrate. It's a preservative in bacon and other meats. So what? That don't bother me. Sodium nitrate. Sodium. Salt. You see, salt, the only time salt is not good for you is when you don't drink water with it. Your blood gets too thick. So it's called the viscosity of your blood. And a lot of people, they're dehydrated. They don't know it, but they have thick blood. It's like molasses. And that's not good for you to have thick blood. It's harder on your heart. A lot of people walk around, they're dehydrated. Oh, Dr. Martin, I'm not thirsty. I didn't ask you if you were thirsty. I'm telling you how much water to drink. 2 liters every stinking day. And only water is water. And guess what? It lowers a lot of people's bloodstream. You know, because salt, guys, you cry salt. Your blood is salt. You ever cry? You ever sweat? Salt. You're very salty. The Bible says that we're supposed to be the salt of the earth. Salt's good. It's got a bad rap. You know, Tony and Junior and I did a teaching one time together on what the cardiologists got wrong. Everything they ever talked about was wrong. One of them was salt. Again, the only time that salt will elevate your blood pressure is when you don't drink water. Yeah. You see, the problem ain't salt. The problem is sugar. It's sugar, not salt. You're made up of salt. You need salt. Use Himalayan salt. I like the pink salt. Okay. Good questions. Other doctors, that's a good question on food again. You know, Justine is saying, other doctors say cheese is inflammatory. And no, it's not. Now look, if you got digestive issues and you can't tolerate cheese or you can't tolerate eggs or you can't tolerate lactose or you can't look, don't put the rest of the world into your basket. You know, a lot of people have allergies. They have food intolerances. And we can do a whole show on that. But if you have food intolerances, you have leaky gut. Your microbiome is not right. And if cheese bothers you, don't eat it. But don't blame cheese. Oh, it's not good for you. That comes back to what I've been saying all along. They look at cheese, first of all, it's animal product. It has cholesterol. It has cholesterol, you know, Dr. Martin, cholesterol. So what? Cholesterol's good for you. And cheese is not acidic. Okay, because a lot of people, Oh, cheese, that's acidic. No, it's not. When you eat cheese, by the time it gets to your gut, it's got a high amount of vitamin K2, which will take the calcium and put it where it belongs, but it's not acidic. Once it gets into your gut, your body releases sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. You get it? Like these are lies. They're not true. Oh, Dr. Martin, cheese. Well, if you don't like it, well, then don't eat it. But, you know, you're going to find stuff on the internet, guys, that will tell, oh, that's not good for you. Now, that's not true. It's very good for you. I could spend 10 minutes telling you why you need to eat cheese. It is so high in protein. It's good in good fat. It has CLA in it, which is a tremendous fatty acid, vitamin K2 and taurine and L-arginine and all these amino acids. It's like cheese is almost a perfect food, fermented food. Like you get some you get some bacteria there. Good guys. I love cheese. Now, what about Kraft slices? That's not so much cheese. That's more man-made. Okay. But cheese is good for you. Don't believe the nonsense. Don't believe the nonsense. It's so good for you. And if you have lactose intolerance, there's very little lactose is the milk sugar. There's no milk sugar in cheese. There's hardly. There's a little bit. Now, if it bothers you, okay, I get it. Everybody's got a fingerprint. You're one of the 7.3 billion people on the planet. Everybody's different. You might be weird. If you're weird, don't put it on the rest of the world. Look, I'm teasing, okay? Please, don't come after me, okay? Somebody was online the other day. They're mad at me all the time. Don't be so mad. I speak the truth. No, but seriously, I don't care what the gurus say. They don't, you know what, most gurus, they believe the lie that any animal product, if it's got eyeballs, you shouldn't eat it. My word, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the amino acids. If you haven't picked up my book, I talk about that. The animal kingdom, you need it. Absolutely. Yeah, because in your salads, lady, you're going to get vitamin K1. Good for you. But in butter and cheese, you're going to get vitamin K2. Even better for you. You don't have enough K2 to take that calcium out of your blood vessels. You're in deep doo-doo. It's a big factor in hardening of the arteries. Okay. How much daily salt intake, Les? I think it was Leslie. I can't even read my own writing here. Depends. Depends how much water you drink. I don't put a limit on salt. Again, like I said, the only side effect of salt is if you're dehydrated. Then it can elevate your blood pressure and cause edema. But you need salt. And the more sugar you eat, the more salt you lose. Okay. And just on the reset, okay? I answered about LDL, low carb diet, less sugar. See, just someone here, and I'm sorry, I didn't write your name down. Can it make for hormonal well, look, the reset is a huge adjustment to the body. And the more you've been a carboholic, the more you've been eating crappy carbs, and then you get off of it. Number one, it's the best thing you can do for your body is to do the reset. I'm sorry. And I know it's our program at the Martin Clinic. I'm sorry. There was a radio show the other day. I was just listening to it, and the guy says, I can't even remember his name now. He said, they're wrong, I'm right, and that's the end of it, or something like that. They're wrong, I'm right. Okay. So yeah, you can make an adjustment. Like it, sometimes some people they're going through a huge adjustment, the changing of the guard. You're changing fuels, and when you change fuels, for some people, that's a big adjustment to the body. The body's going, where is my carbohydrates? Where is my crappy carbs? Where are my sugars? I need them. Yeah, your body needs a good spanking every once in a while, you know? Like a little tune-up, you know? Yeah. So it depends. Like if you're a carboholic, put your hand up and admit it. And now your body, oh, jeepers, creepers. I like that crappy fuel that you gave me for 40 years or 50 years. I liked it. You know, when you were eating muffins and bagels and you know, just all that stuff for a long time and you know, chips and pop and blah, blah. You know, your body has to make an adjustment. And for some people, they make an adjustment. I said, grin it and bear it. This will be good for you. Because it's science, guys. In 7 days, in 1 week, it'll empty the liver out. It starts with the liver. And even that, you empty the liver for some, you know, the body screams, what are you doing? You ever had a house that was, you know, they never get rid of garbage, and then somebody goes in to clean? Holy jumping. Jeepers, creepers. I never knew there was so much accumulated garbage. Well, your body's like that. You had a lot of garbage in that liver, you know? But you got to trust the process. It will clean it out. Okay. Somebody's asking, I just want to make sure, Al's asking about marshmallow root for gut healing. Yeah, like it's part of our, marshmallow root is a mucilage. What is a mucilage? A mucilage coats your gut. It regenerates the gut. I like them. It's part of our IBS formula. We put mucilages in them. We put a few mucilages in our digestive enzymes. Really good for the gut. Good question. Passion flower for sleep. I like it. Look, and I'm just going to say it because you find a better formula than we have for our cortisol formula. Look, you name it. I've been around a long time. From melatonin to passion flower to GABA to 5-HTP to kava, whatever. You name it, I tried it. Believe me, in practice. The formula we have today, I'll put that up against anybody's formula. Anybody's. Hey, it's my show, I'll tell you that. Okay, can anything be done? Okay, now we're getting into some questions. Can anything be done for cataracts at 50? Yes, Risa. Yes. Your body's unbelievable. Regenerate. First thing, remember with the eyes, okay? You don't have to remember a lot of things about the eyes. From macular degeneration to cataracts, to diabetic retinopathy, all of these eye conditions. It's circulation. It's just like your kidneys. Kidneys is all about blood supply. Primarily, it's about blood supply. Because that filter down there, your kidneys, needs blood. And microscopically, you want your blood vessels to be in good shape. So what do you do when you're 50 years old and you're told you got cataracts? Change your diet. Get off the crappy carbs. Sugars, carbohydrates, they damage your blood vessels. The first thing they damage is your microcirculation. And I'll tell you, when you go in and look in an eye, okay, what is your doctor, what's your optometrist doing? What's your ophthalmologist doing? What's your family doctor doing when they go in and look at your eye? You know what they're looking at? Well, they're looking at the lens and all that too, of course. But you know what they're seeing? They're seeing Highway 401, Highway 407, Highway 403. You know what they are? They're looking at your blood vessels. And they're looking back there and they go, you got some problems coming there. Because they can see the blood supply. That is so important. Yes, turn it around. Do you know that this is just me? I'm going to give you, do you see these glasses? When I was 50, a long time ago, I went for an eye exam because for my driver's license. And they said, I just barely passed. I said, well, I never noticed that before, And they said, well, you need glasses. Okay, so run off to the optometrist and get a prescription glasses. And you know what he told me? My optometrist told me on these set of glasses, okay? Which is, I think they're about a year old right now, okay? Yeah, they're not even a year old, come to think of it. You know what my optometrist said? Jeepers, your eyes are better at 68 than they were at 50. Your eyes are better at 68 than they were at 55 and 60 because you could see my prescriptions. Your eyes are getting better. Blood supply is better. Good question, okay? Bernadette's asking about vaginal itchiness. Well, I don't know anything about that. If you have that, you have yeast. It's as simple as that. You might not have a yeast infection per se, but you have yeast. You have candida. It's a fungal. And fungus, candida, loves moisture. That's why women have much more trouble with their bladder and much more trouble with the private parts than men do. Not that men can't, but they rarely do. It's yeast. You know what this is up here? Sinuses? Candida. Yeast. If they're recurring. It's a fungal. Don't feed the bears. Don't give them sugar. And don't feed it. And probiotics. And I would make up a little application. A little bit of coconut oil and a little bit of probiotic. Open up a probiotic capsule. A little bit of that powder. And with a Q-tip, do a little insertion with that mixture. I find that to be quite effective. Okay. Marilyn's asking about Topramet. That is an anti-seizure meds. What do I think? Well, if you need them. Can I just say one thing about ketosis? You know what ketosis is? Ketosis is when your body's burning fat and not carbs. And the only way your body will burn fat is if you eliminate carbs. Almost no carbs. So the reset is sort of a ketotic diet, but that's not the big thing in it. It really isn't. That's not why I created it. I know all about ketosis. But I'm going to tell you something about seizures. In the 1920s, they found out that a lot of seizures were fixed by using a ketotic diet. And the problem with that medication, over a period of time, it's on my hit parade list of meds that have a link to Alzheimer's, along with antidepressants, along with the metformin, which is a diabetic drug, along with antacids, along with like Tagamet and Nexium and others. I got a hit parade. Maybe we'll do that again. A hit parade of medication. I'm not telling you not to use them. If you need those meds, come on. But I'm just telling you the long-term effects. And I talked about it when I did the program. This is probably several months ago now. How to protect your brain from that, okay? If you have to take the medication. Nosebleeds. Well, you know, I always ask, Cindy's asking the question about nosebleeds. Well, if you have recurring nosebleeds, there could be a lot of things. It could be high blood pressure. It could be dryness. It could be allergies. It could be you have a blood clotting thing, disorder. It could be a lot of things. I always try and say, Cindy, find out why you have that. I'm more of the why guy. Okay? Now, one of the things, and I haven't talked about this in a bit, that you should, make sure you have enough moisture in your home. It's the dryness, like if you have a fireplace or whatever, and listen, you need that, living in the cold, right? Wintertime. But that dryness makes you much more susceptible. And forget nosebleeds, but just even the virus, by the way. There should be a certain amount of humidity in the air. Beth is asking, or Shirley's asking about autoimmune. What was she asking here? Oh, Shirley's asking about, you remember when I showed you the other day, I showed you the pyramid? She said, well, do autoimmune diseases, yeah, they're very much involved with that. Now, what I didn't show in the pyramid, okay, this is a hormonal period that I was showing you. A pyramid, thyroid, ovaries, adrenals halfway up, and then the pancreas. But I could have put a line through here and just said, there's your gut. Almost all diseases are within that pyramid. I'm not kidding you. Almost all of them. And so, good question. Autoimmune, yeah. You got to get rid of inflammation. You got to change your diet, and you got to fix leaky gut. All autoimmune diseases start in the gut. Hippocrates had it right. Okay, let me just see now because I'm going to lose my questions. And Shirley asked that. Beth about skin discoloration. Look, that could be that ordinarily is a problem, a genetic problem or whatever. I'm big on probiotics, as that's sort of an autoimmune disorder. And start with the gut. Always, Beth, start with the gut. Joanne is asking about a dead thyroid. Is that actually... Well, I've heard the term dead thyroid, when your thyroid's not working properly. Some people, they have a thyroid gland there, but it's not working. And it's a thing that's called the dead thyroid. Get on the thyroid formula big time and change your diet. Again, diet. Sinus tachycardia, Donna. And another question, is there such a thing as heart anxiety? Well, I brought this to you yesterday afternoon. I talked about the anxiety, what it does. Now look, I could spend a lot of time on this with the sake of time this morning. Let me just say this. A lot of women get tachycardia. You know why? Because they don't eat enough red meat. They just don't. And red meat has CoQ10. And if you want your heart to be strong, you need CoQ10. And chicken don't have CoQ10. And neither does salad. You need red meat. How can red meat be bad for you? How on God's earth can red meat be bad for you if it contains CoQ10? Your heart doesn't work properly without it. And when they're lowering your cholesterol with a statin drug, they're destroying your CoQ10 in your muscles. Your heart is a muscle in an electrical grid. And I just find that if you give your heart the nutrients it needs, eggs, meat, and cheese, your heart gets stronger. Yes. I can gallbladder and eggs. Okay, there's the last one. Okay, somebody asked, and they heard a lecture or whatever, and this one doctor said that he can cure the gallbladder if you don't eat eggs for 2 weeks. Well, can I be honest with you? It's the first time I've ever heard that. 46 years of practice, I've never heard that. Now, the problem we see so much gallbladder, ladies, use it or lose it. Your gallbladder is a little pouch. It's full of bile. Now, it doesn't make bile. The liver makes bile. It needs cholesterol to make bile too. And what does bile do? Well, bile emulsifies fat so you can absorb it. If you don't eat fat because of our stupidity in the fat-free diets, oh my word, well then we lose our gallbladder. Now this guy says if you don't eat eggs, well look, I don't want you to eat too much fat if you got gallbladder problems, because then your gallbladder's going to be, you know, you haven't used it, and then all of a sudden you use a lot of fat and they go, oh, my gallbladder, you know. But I get people here, I find, here's what I do for gallbladder. I can fix people's gallbladder even with, look, if you got gallstones and they're getting, look, I'm not trying to give you, I'm giving you what I did over the years, okay? Like you got to consult your doctor. You don't want to have a, you know, gallbladder that's diseased and needs to be taken out. But a lot of times you can reverse the gallbladder by do intermittent fasting. Stop eating at night. You know, it's 5 o'clock, stop eating. Don't eat. Give yourself a long time. And then if you can, don't even have breakfast. Do this for a couple of, it won't even take you a couple of months. And I find that just gets your gallbladder, you know, and you can have some eggs, and you can have, don't overeat. But if you eat within those windows where you're not always using your gallbladder, I find that helps, and that helps other digestive issues too. So it's not a matter of eliminating any foods, really. It's a matter of shortening up your eating windows and things like that. Okay. All good questions. I really appreciate it. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. Remember, okay? Right now we are sold out, but it's coming. So at the first of the year, and we're going to have a bunch of things going on with the reset at the start of the year, okay? See, next week is Christmas. Can't get over it. Okay? And invite your friends and family to join our private Facebook group. What a group. And we want to thank you for watching and supporting our podcast. And you guys have been fantastic. The best, most educated, and I mean this, nutritionally educated people are right here. It's you guys. And you put up with my daily rants too, which I really appreciate. Okay? I'm very opinionated. I'm sorry. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.